Okay, so you really like the iPhone 13 or the 13 Pro. Gotta say, I really like it too, to be honest. I've never been an Apple fan. I'm more of like an Apple critic. You would have seen me bash Apple products in the previous videos of mine, but gotta admit, the 13 Pro is really, it's sweet. It has almost all the features, all the hardware things that have been checked out, nice cameras, nice storage, etc. It is really good. It's a serious contender for a phone if I'm shopping for one in that price range. But there's a caveat. Before you go out and buy the iPhone 13 or 13 Pro, there are some things that you should keep in mind if specifically you're upgrading. So if you're upgrading from your iPhone 12 or 11 Pro series, I think you probably should hold on to your current phones. So yeah, that's it. That's basically the gist of the video. But if you want to know why I say that, please proceed watching. So let's start with the display. Let's say the iPhone 11 and iPhone 11 Pro and iPhone 12 have a bit of an identical display. I mean, the brightness that varies, but they're still perfectly legible in sunlight. I've seen them, I've used them. I know I mentioned that I'm an iPhone critic, but you know that's part of the experience. You gotta see how iPhones are if you're a critic to critique them properly. So I've used them and they're good. They're legible in sunlight. I have never had any complaints with them. And the 13 is just upping the game. I'm just talking about the 13. I'm not talking about the 13 Pro or the Pro Max. Just the 13. iPhone 11 Pro, iPhone 12, iPhone 13 series. They're all good. Yes, the 13 has a bit of a leg up when it comes to the max brightness compared to the 12, but it's not that noticeable. Seriously, in day-to-day life, it's not going to be noticeable unless you're going to be playing videos directly under the sunlight or you're just going to be full blasting the videos. And I mean, unless you're going to be watching the videos in full blast brightness, even then it's not going to be that noticeable because luminance or the nits, the brightness scale, it's not linear. It's not like there is linear difference between 700 and 800 nits. It doesn't work that way. So you're not going to be seeing a sizable difference. And the iPhone 12 already hits about 650 to 700 nits in its full peak brightness. Yes, 650 to 700 nits. Yeah, that's correct. And the iPhone 13 hits about 800 nits. So it's not going to be a great difference. So the brightness of the display part, no, not really an upgrade when it comes to the iPhone 13 if you're coming from 11 Pro or a iPhone 12 series. So that's not something you should consider. The aesthetics. This is a bit tricky because some people, they have very specific requirements. It's like, if I want a black phone, I want a black phone. I don't want a gray phone. I don't want a dark gray phone. I want a black phone. So to them, I say, go ahead, do what you want to do. To all the rest of us, you can put a nice case on it. You can skin it. You can basically, yes, the two options: put a nice case on it and put a skin on it. It's not like we have replaceable covers. So those are your options. You could do that instead of going out and buying a new phone. And if you specifically need that diagonal camera arrangement of the iPhone 13 to tell people you have an iPhone 13, then maybe, yeah, you should buy it. For everyone else, no. And when it comes to the storage, if you find your current storage to be inadequate, maybe you might want to upgrade to it, but I don't think anyone's gonna say, oh, this has more storage and I'm gonna buy this phone because it has more storage. It's a pretty niche, so I don't know why I'm addressing that, but yeah, that I don't think that could be a big reason. Also, what else? We have the cameras. Oh, cameras. I know what you're thinking. Damn, the iPhone 13 has the 12 Pro Max's camera. It has censorship stabilization. It has bigger pixels. It's better. Absolutely, yes, you are 100% correct. When it comes to hardware, it is better. Trust me. The iPhone 13's camera is better than the iPhone 12's camera. But in reality, if you watch my previous video where I say, dear Apple, and I do this clickbaity thing, if you watch that video, you'd probably know that I said the 12 and the 13, there isn't going to be a big difference. Now, how do I know this? How do I know this? Because the 12 and the 12 Pro Max didn't have a huge difference in terms of their camera qualities. So that's how I know that. That's how I'm predicting that the 12 and the 13 won't have much of a difference. And it's true. Now the camera comparisons are out. You can see a lot of videos about them online. It seems like the embargo that Apple had, with all these MKBHD, Dave 2D, and all the other YouTubers showing off all the 4 phones at the same time, like the 13, the 13 mini, 13 Pro, 13 Pro Max, all you would have noticed they showed all the 4 phones at the same time. That's because it's probably because of an embargo. Apple would have stated, you gotta show all the 4 phones at the same time in the first video until certain date. So just think about it. Why would a YouTuber show all the phones at the same time? Doesn't make sense. When you can make separate videos and have more views, especially for famous YouTubers. I'm not throwing shade at anyone. I'm just trying to explain the business model to you. So in those video and those embargoes, and with those embargoes, there comes a certain terms and conditions where you cannot expose or reveal certain comparisons. But now it appears that the embargo has been lifted and people are getting their phones, so they're able to compare iPhone 12 with iPhone 13, and the comparisons are out there, very super detailed comparisons, and you can clearly see the difference is not really that apparent. I would say it's non-existent in daylight, and in night 13 is slightly better with regards to handling shakes because of the slightly better shutter speed and the light gathering capability. But if I were you, I wouldn't put my money on it. If I had a 12 or 11 Pro, I would keep it and I'd be very happy. So I'm really happy my predictions come true. Really happy for myself, but for those who got an iPhone 13, maybe it's still a great phone. You're still having one of the best cameras out there, so you don't have to worry about it. For people with the 12, don't upgrade. You're not gonna see a difference in the camera, so don't do that. And with regards to video and video features, the portrait mode, etc., you already have applications in iPhone and iPad that can already do that. You take a regular video and it can identify faces and it can do the whole background thing. So I believe Apple is going to be bringing that feature to previous phones as well. It's a no-brainer. I mean, I would do that. I don't see any reason why Apple can't. So if they do that, great. If they don't, you already have a ton of applications that can do it. For example, this current video, it's being shot on a phone. It's an Android phone actually, and I'm going to try and make it look like a DSLR video with a blurry background. I'm going to try at least. I'm not sure if it's gonna succeed. With the Buzz Lightyear and the Woody's face in the back. So I don't know how the face recognition is gonna work. I think it's gonna go a bit crazy, but you get the point. Then battery life. If you really wanted a better battery life, you're just going to buy a phone for a better battery life. You have a lot of mid-range Android phones that can give you that. And seriously, go for you could go for something like an iPhone 11. That would offer you much better battery life. If that was your only concern. Then again, this video is for people who are trying to upgrade from the iPhone 12 or the 11 Pro to the 13. So in all regards, unless you are really going to be upgrading to the 13 Pro with that sweet 120Hz display, I would recommend you to not upgrade. Even with the 13 Pro, I would say iOS is already super, ultra smooth. I know I'm an Apple critic, but it's true. When it's true, it's true. The iPhone, or rather the iOS, it's already super smooth. In fact, most people are finding it difficult to perceive difference between 60 Hz iPhones and 120 Hz iPhones. Seriously, you can look up the comparisons online. I say online because I have a PC behind me and I watch YouTube on it, so that's why I say online. So, yeah, you could do that. With regards to Android, maybe Android's a bit stuttery on 60 Hz. Takes me back to Android 4.1 days when we had Project Butter. I still regard Android KitKat to be one of the finest, the most beautiful OS that ever existed for Android, the most optimized. Probably because it ran both Dalvik machine and the Android runtime. I guess it gave users a choice, so probably that's why. But you know, nostalgia is sometimes it distorts your perception. Sorry about that. I think I got a notification. Ignore that. It's not your phone. It's my. It's mine. It made a sound. So, anyways, it was nice talking to you. If you're planning on upgrading to iPhone 13 from a 12 or a 11 Pro, let me know how your experience was. I hope it was good and the best for you. Have a lovely day, and yeah, take care. Bye.